5 feet 1 inch and under. If you are 5'1" or under, your unfair biological advantage is possessing an ultra-efficient survival engine. Because your body mass is compact, your baseline metabolic rate operates in low fuel mode. In ancestral environments where food supply collapsed, your frame required fewer total calories to stay alive. Mechanically, by keeping your limbs close to your body's rotational center by default, you can spin, adjust, and rotate at speeds a taller body is physically incapable of matching, making your frame the undisputed master of disciplines like gymnastics, figure skating, and diving. Socially, your frame unlocks a quiet power known as social camouflage. Because human psychology instantly associates smaller size with lower confrontation cost, people rarely view you as an immediate physical threat. They also drop their emotional guard around you. People reveal more information, speak more freely, and share key insights because your presence does not trigger their defensive instincts. Nature engineered your frame for incredible energy efficiency, lightning-fast rotational mechanics, and tactical social precision. 5 feet 2 inches to 5 feet 6 inches. If you are between 5'2" and 5'6", your unfair biological advantage is possessing an ultra-efficient leverage engine built for raw torque generation. Because your bones create a shorter path of travel under load, your joints experience significantly less mechanical stress during heavy movements. This reduced travel distance allows your muscles to generate explosive rotational torque with maximum efficiency, making your frame the undisputed master of disciplines like strength lifting, wrestling, and combat sports. Socially, your frame sits in what psychologists call the negotiation zone. Because your size does not trigger immediate intimidation, people do not apply strong automatic assumptions to you. They recalibrate based entirely on how you act, giving you massive behavioral leverage. Controlled posture, decisive eye contact, and a steady vocal tone allow you to claim authority rapidly, shifting the room purely through your execution. 5 feet 7 inches to 5 feet 8 inches. If you are between 5'7" and 5'8", your unfair biological advantage is possessing low physical inertia paired with complete behavioral neutrality. Because your frame balances leg power with lower total body mass, you carry less mass to decelerate when changing direction. This gives you elite agility and rapid footwork, allowing you to stop on a dime, shift momentum instantly, and outmaneuver opponents before they finish calculating their next move, making your frame the undisputed master of high agility disciplines like soccer, middleweight boxing, and martial arts. Socially, sitting near the statistical average means your height rarely triggers subconscious size shortcuts in others. Without structural biases working for or against you, your height creates no upfront friction, shifting 100% of the perception onto how you carry yourself. Furthermore, because the modern physical world, from vehicle cockpits to workspace ergonomics, is built around average human proportions, your frame experiences an effortless environmental harmony. 5 feet 9 inches to 5 feet 11 inches. If you're between 5'9" and 5'11", your unfair biological advantage is possessing human biology's longevity sweet spot and golden mean. By sitting near the mechanical middle of the human frame, your joints absorb significantly less impact force than taller bodies while maintaining shorter circulatory distances, keeping long-term strain on your cardiovascular system remarkably low. Biomechanically, your limbs hit the perfect ratio for well-rounded movement, granting high athletic versatility and endurance, making you the undisputed master of balanced multi-skill disciplines like tennis, decathlon, and CrossFit. Socially, your presence lands in a sweet spot of balanced perception. You enjoy the quiet, physical advantage of a world designed around your dimensions, while projecting a natural, approachable presence that commands baseline respect without triggering defensiveness or caution in others. Nature engineered your frame for maximum long-term durability, balanced physical versatility, and structural harmony. 5 feet 11 inches to 6 feet 2 inches. If you are between 5'11" and 6'2", your unfair biological advantage is possessing an extended physical reach paired with accelerated authority. Your skeletal frame features longer limbs that naturally increase stride length and spatial coverage, providing a higher ceiling for muscle attachment and absolute force production without crossing into severe joint stress thresholds. Your circulatory network remains balanced, giving you an elite combination of speed, reach, and power generation. making your frame a dominant force in multi-directional contact and speed sports like sprinting and middleweight wrestling. Socially, crossing the threshold into visibly above average height triggers a deep evolutionary shortcut in human psychology, because larger frames historically signaled physical capability and higher reach. People subconsciously assign credibility and leadership competence to you before you even speak. This gives you immediate authority and momentum in social and professional settings. Nature engineered your frame for extended physical coverage, elevated power potential, and automatic credibility. 6 feet 2 inches to 6 feet 5 inches. If you're between 6'2" and 6'5", your unfair biological advantage is possessing kinetic leverage power paired with cold-adapted thermal retention. Because your longer limbs create extended lever arms, your body acts like a kinetic whip. Extra acceleration distance along your limbs multiplies velocity at the impact point, generating exponentially higher kinetic energy in movements like throwing, striking, and swimming strokes, making your frame the undisputed master of disciplines like heavyweight boxing, swimming, and quarterbacking. Additionally, your lower surface area to volume ratio allows your body to retain internal heat efficiently in harsh climates. Socially, your presence instantly activates the human brain's threat assessment system. People instinctively recognize higher confrontation costs around you, causing them to grant you physical space, hesitate before challenging your decisions, and interrupt you far less often. 6 feet 5 inches to 6 feet 10 inches. If you're between 6'5" and 6'10", your unfair biological advantage is possessing elevated potential energy and maxed out spatial presence. In vertical sports, your standing reach alone eliminates the energy tax that shorter athletes pay just getting into the air, making your frame the undisputed master of spatial interception in sports like basketball or volleyball. Furthermore, your expanded skeletal surface area raises the theoretical ceiling for absolute muscle attachment and total structural power. Socially, your sheer stature shifts the room the second you step into it. Because your physical presence is impossible to ignore, you do not need to push for dominance or raise your voice to command attention. Calm composure alone carries immense weight and natural authority. 6 feet 11 inches and above. If you are 6'11" or above, your unfair biological advantage is possessing total physical occlusion paired with apex environmental observation. Your sheer scale and massive wingspan fundamentally rewrite the geometry of your surroundings, forcing opponents to alter their own release points, footwork, and biomechanics just to operate near you, making your frame the undisputed master of environmental denial in sports like professional basketball and elite rim defense. Additionally, your stature grants you an apex line of sight that scans movement patterns over crowds and obstacles with effortless range. Socially, your stature triggers maximum rarity detection in human psychology. Because the human brain is hardwired to flag statistical outliers, you never have to fight to be noticed. Interactions with you are remembered vividly, meaning your true power lies in holding that inevitable presence with a firm, commanding composure. We want to know your exact height and ancestry. Let us know in the comments.